Now let's look at some of the other features of a chop saw. A chop saw not only makes those straight cross cuts on square material, but it can also make some angled cuts. So to unlock this feature, we are going to lift this knob up and then press this button down, and then it will move left and right. So it has these preset channels, and those are going to be for your most common angled cuts in construction. So 22.5 degrees, 45 degrees are pretty much the most common too. And there are a few others on the setting as well. Right now I'm going to go over to a 45 degree setting, and I'm going to listen for it to lock into place. So it clicked into place, but I still want to take this lever and push downward. That locks it in place for good. So now I'm at a 45 degree setting with this chop saw. I don't need the slide activated, so I have that knob locked over on the back side of the saw. And I'll make an angled or mitered cut right now. I will keep my hand well away from the blade. I'm going to have a good amount of pressure back towards that aluminum fence, no space between the fence. I will get ready to make my cut, put that blade up to full speed, and go ahead and cut. I want the blade to do the work. You need to use your senses. You need to listen. If the blade seems like it's struggling, there's probably something going wrong, so just keep that in mind. So now I have my scrap piece, and I have a 45 degree edge cut on my chop saw. Something we're probably not going to do in this class much would be tipping this chop saw. You can tip the entire motor to make some compound angles, typically seen in something like crown molding. We probably won't do that, but there's a knob on the back of this saw and an adjustment that you have to loosen. So now this saw can move, and you can see the angles in the different settings here. So very, very rarely our student projects require us to use this feature, but it's there, and I just wanted to showcase that just so you know what it's for. If you ever had to make that type of cut, please see me first. So that introduces you to our chop saw in the lab. It can be a very safe machine if we use it properly. Again, the biggest things that students do, they cut material that's too small, which is totally inappropriate, and they don't have that material tightly against the fence. You do those two things, and you should be successful with the chop saw.